Hello and welcome to another intriguing episode of HP Unplugged, where we celebrate individuals who are known for their resilience, innovation, and leadership. As you can see, we are at HPCL ERP Center, so you may guess what today's episode is like. Today's episode is about ERP, Enterprise Resource Planning Software, which is driving our corporation forward. And at the helm, we have ED ERP Shri G Shiva Sunder. So today's episode is about him. He has a career of more than 3 decades in various sectors like taxation, internal audit, LPG, direct sales, and finally at SAP. So before further ado, let's dive into the episode of Shri G Shiva Sunder. So welcome to the episode of HP Unplugged. We are truly privileged to have you here, sir, on our episode.
Thank you, Sudipta, for giving me this opportunity.
Thank you, sir. So we'll begin with your career first. You had a very vast career of 3 decades, and you have had experience in audit, taxation, direct sales, LPG, ERP. So, any key milestones that you would like to highlight in your journey in HPCL?
I will start with one of the toughest assignments which I had gone, that is taxation, where the GST was implemented across the country. That is one nation, one law. And we had to implement in our company. And it required a lot of changes because the act itself subsumed many previous laws. So the processes had to undergo changes where we had to play a very active role. We had done under the mentorship of Mr. VK Jain, and I had a small team with me, Narayanan and Swain, who helped us doing this activity. We had to do a lot of trainings in this. So that's how things moved ahead. And when I moved to direct sales is an area where for the first time we have been interacting with marketing team. Their way of handling things, their perspective was totally different from the way we used to think. So that was also given me a wonderful opportunity learning. And as ERP is concerned, that was the foundation. A lot of analytics, the way how things go about, how we are connected, how the systems work. I was able to deep dive into the processes and learn a lot.
Sir, we discussed about the highlights of your career. Now we wanted to know that from your first posting in internal audit till here as in the SAP rollout team, you must have faced a lot of hurdles, and there must have been lots of experience. And we know that you are a very people-centric leader. So all those things that you have gone through in your journey in HPCL. So the problem solving and innovation, can you put some more light on that and tell our viewers about it?
In the early 90s, computers were introduced in HPCL. Few locations had gone on. We had a software called DDP for running operations. That was the time I joined HPCL in internal audit. And that new toy, that is computer, somehow fascinated me. I was getting drawn towards it. And the software which was used at that point of time, DBase, I was working on learning. And whenever I used to have free time, those days we were bachelors. So after office hours, I used to sit and learn. And even when I used to go to audit, after the audit was done, in the evening, I used to sit and see how the program was written by our IT team, how the coding was done. In the process, I started learning bits and pieces. Then later, in my posting in Chennai as an internal audit only, I had developed an audit package, full-fledged audit package in DBase, which will, if I were to insert in the computer which was handling transactions, it will do audit on our behalf. There are few audits routines which we are supposed to do, mundane audits, which the system will automatically pick up all those transaction and master files, throw out reports, basis which we were able to draw the reports. It was something which was very appreciated by all our people at that point of time. Way back in 90, this audit package was there. The DBase knowledge which I had learned then helped me again when I was posted in Cherlapalli LPG plant. What had happened is EMRs are issued. EMR is Equipment Movement Record for cylinders. Those equipment movement records is to come from regional office, LPG regional office. And in the plant, we are supposed to keep track of how many cylinders were issued
Okay.
from that EMR, and that was done manually. Now, suppose, for example, 300 cylinders EMR is there, we have to release in 6 trenches of 50 each. And on the back, reverse of the EMR, physical copy, we used to note down, one clerk is to note down manually. In case he misses out, we'll end up giving another 50 cylinders. Of course, that used to get reflected in cylinder imbalance. Of course, cylinder imbalance itself was always a problem. Nobody used to, at that point, we are not able to do reconciliation at all. There are a lot of control weaknesses was there. That is where felt we can do something here. So sitting there one period with my clerk and all, I had developed an EMR package, full-fledged EMR package, which will not only generate EMR, but also track cylinders as and when issued from the plant. And that will, you have to reverse, put it in the printer on the reverse side, it will print against which invoice that 50 was got adjusted. Okay. This package was reviewed by IT top executives. Then they took the entire package and incorporated in the DDP package at that point of time and released as a new version, 6.1, as a 2.61 something version that was released. This one, the entire package was taken.
So entire India?
All India, all LPG plants that was built. That gave a lot of relief to LPG officers, finance officers. They are very happy, and errors, manual errors have come down. That was debated in Chota Mota programs also. The second thing was, in the dawn of this century, Excel was gaining prominence. Okay. So I started picking up Excel. It so happened, okay, I was in pricing, corporate pricing, and I, along with the industry, I was one of the HPCL member to develop pricing on an all India basis, because there's a methodology change. We were cost plus for calculating MSHG prices. We had to move to import parity, IPP pricing. So industry and the entire industry, we had members. I was from HPCL. Okay. So I had an opportunity of working in Excel there, and the requirements and demand was so much that I started learning on my own Excel formulas, then working out shortcuts, scenarios, all those things. And that we developed into a very huge application, Excel application, that was used by industry, MSHSD pricing, was used by industry for almost a decade. That was that point of time, where every 15 days price revision is to take place. All India, it used to calculate what is the final RSP. There are a lot of elements in that Excel, excise calculation, tax calculations, all those things were inbuilt into it. And a lot of intricacies, all those through formulas it was done. And that was used by industry, and not say HPCL, industry. So, and this knowledge really helped me. Then in posting in direct sales, a couple of more applications developed with the help of my team. I had a small team over there. We had Manish, Shipra and Rathod, who were helping me out developing these reports. One was profitability report. Then we had developed TAR reports. All these reports helped us in meeting the demands of marketing. So this is how the technology part or innovation part, which you said, I was able to do. There were even in ERP also was done, but it's in a smaller scale compared to these three major ones. Coming to the human side, I think I was blessed to have, in the very initial incubation stages, I'll say, Mr. Anantraman as my boss. He was one of the excellent person I ever met, wonderful person, who had, for any solutions you go to him, who has a solution plus a human approach to it. For solution though we can give, but an human approach, it will ensure that all stakeholders are happy. There was something unique I was able to learn from Anantraman. Then Jain, Mr. VK Jain, happened to be my boss in two stints, one in ERP, another in taxation, that is GST. Jain, I think he is like a mythological character, Arjuna. He, if you go to him with a problem, he will see the eye of the bird. Like Arjuna sees only the eye of the bird, he also can see the root cause of the problem. You go to with a problem, within few seconds or few minutes, I can say, comes out with what is the root cause of the problem. Root cause is one part. He comes out faster with the solutions also. And so multiple solutions. Like that, he has got 4 or 5 solutions. Something that's, I used to beg art to looking at him and to pick things from them. Then one more important person in my life was Nishi madam. She was our manager, general manager heading ERP team. She was a very bold person, exhibiting lot of leadership qualities. And from very close quarters, I was able to observe and imbibe few of those qualities. So that's how I think these things had come. And parental, so also that my father was working in the government sector, so he has those honest, no hara-fairy and all. That nature, I should also not do like that. So those things I also came to my path. So the personality had grown up with that. And the key thing which I felt over a period of time, mantra which I'll tell my colleagues also, if there's a problem which you have to address, just imagine you are the last person on the earth to solve it. There is nobody else, only you have to solve it. Have that mindset, then automatically solutions will come to you. You have to think about it, worry about it, think day and night about it, solutions will come to you automatically. There is no special training, it will come to you. It's very simple, very effective. You have to apply and you have to do it. In fact, I was doing it. In fact, my colleagues whom I had told, they also started appreciating this. I have to give solution. Otherwise, what happens, we always expect somebody else to do. The culture of Supermans, He-Man will come, or Spider-Man will come, or somebody will come, Batman will come, we'll solve our problems. No, we have to solve our problems. Maybe it will take some time, but definitely we can solve most of the problems. That's how I felt.
Thank you, sir, for your insights on this issue.
So now we'll speak about the ERP implementation. So we went from JD Edwards to SAP, and you must have encountered a lot of challenges, in rolling out this system. So what were the key hurdles while you were, going for this transformation, and how did you address this?
I think I can sum it up in, we had three main hurdles. There were others also, but if you look into it, there are three which were very important, paramount. One is we had to go for a big bang approach. Explain what big bang is.
Okay.
Second is data migration. And the third is meeting stakeholders' expectations. So let me start with big bang. Big bang means rolling all the modules in SAP on a single day or within 2 or 3 days.
Okay.
That's called big bang across the country. Prior to that, in JD Edwards, we rolled it out over a period of 3 years.
Oh, okay.
That is now shrunk to just 1 or 2 days. So that is called big bang.
Okay.
We'll be shutting JD Edwards and then starting SAP. That was most dreaded thing. Now JD Edwards over a period had around 1,500 peripheral applications to meet our various requirements, statutory or business requirements. Now all those things have come with SAP, and that too we have to start it in a day or two.
Oh.
That was the most devastating. So when we were planning somewhere in 2000, we have to go this way, a lot of discussion was taking place whether we can go in a phased manner or big bang. At HPC we concluded it could be only SAP in big bang, not through phased manner because of various parameters.
Okay. Okay.
But when we explained this to our consultants, or those days big five, top 5, SAP, they were very apprehensive.
Okay.
They said of HPC's size, volumes, or even the magnitude of operation, we don't have any such instances where big bang was done. So whatever we are going to do will be disastrous.
Oh, okay.
That was the thing they had told us. However, they also did not have any alternate solution.
So they didn't have any prior experience also of doing this.
Prior experience they had, but through a phased manner.
Okay.
Going by big bang of our size was not there.
Okay.
So they were very apprehensive on that part.
Okay.
So we had to go on big bang. We had no other go. Then finally, because of various, once the team was formed, SAP Arohan team that we called is Arohan, along with us we had onboarded Accenture and SAP consultants also. Along with that, we did ASIS process, to be process, that is how we should roll out SAP. Then we had conducted several tests as to how it works out.
Okay.
We had various tests. And all these things, because of all these things, we were able to roll it out the way we wanted as a big bang. Here, I would like to thank all the officers across the country who moved from JD Edwards to SAP in a day or two, and they were able to run the operations. And within a week's time, we were able to touch the pre-SAP targets.
Okay.
So that was out, and it's highly commendable because training was bare minimum, and they moved to a screen initially which is intimidating. So that they were able to manage, navigate in the screens, and they were able to meet the targets. So big thanks to all the officers across the country for making this possible. And also I'll take this opportunity of thanking all the SBU heads who were very, very supportive, whether it is refinery, marketing, our own corporate or marketing finance. They were very supportive in the initial phase. Whatever problems we faced, they were able to help us out in resolving it. And the credit or the priority goes to top management. They were with us, always supporting. We were able to pass it through. So these are the three people whom I think we should give credit from ERP side.
And credit to ERP team for rolling it out in such a
our entire
nice
team
manner.
was there who had really struggled day in and day out. and SAP and R1 also teams. They were Accenture team. They were also played a very crucial role in it. The second thing I mentioned is data migration. Now, data migration means the data is stored in JD Edwards. Now, the JD Edwards table has to come to SAP. It is a total different change. Structural changes are there. SAP structures and the way JD structures are there different. There are several files which the data stored in several files in JD Edwards were consolidated into a single table in SAP, and vice versa. A single table in JD Edwards were fragmented into several tables.
Okay.
So this data has to be migrated. Now just imagine around 3 lakh items, 50,000 customers, 30,000 vendors, then employees of around 8,000, GL of around 5,000, and each of the GL having lakhs of lines. All these things had to be migrated into a system. Now for that we had some mock drills. It's not that we were able to migrate in the day one. We had several rounds of mocks. I remember three rounds we did, and whatever lessons learned in the first was incorporated in the second, and things started improving.
Okay.
So we were able to migrate most of it, masters and all, before SAP got rolled out, and some of the things we migrated even after SAP got rolled out.
Okay.
So that was a big challenge. Data migration was a big challenge. Fortunately, by the first quarter, when we drawn the balance sheet and trial balance, everything was in order. So that was one very good learning, but tough. And the third one is the stakeholders' expectations. Expectations of stakeholders are very high. Whatever problems, pains, areas of JD Edwards, they thought SAP will cure all those things as if it's a panacea for all the problems. SAP leke aao, sab problems nikal do.
Okay.
It is not true.
True.
SAP has its own issues. And expectations were too high. And one of the directions given by top management was whatever was existing in JD, that should be met.
Okay.
That's a bare minimum. Above that, whatever you give is incremental.
Incremental.
So we had to meet that one, and we had a lot of trainings. We had, prior to SAP rollout, we had visited locations, zones, and gave them a flavor as to how SAP looks like and what is that we are going to give. And I think by now most of their stakeholders' expectations are met. Still, there is a room for improvements. That definitely will be doing it along.
Sir, we discussed about what are the challenges that we faced, for during the ERP implementation. Now that ERP is implemented, so we want to know what is the next stage of ERP, what are the innovations, what are the enhancements that we are going to have for more ERP acceleration.
Actually, SAP S4HANA, we had gone for SAP S4HANA primarily because the existing ERP system, that was JD, was not able to meet our digital initiatives. That was one of the primary reasons we thought of migrating to SAP. Now SAP is rolled out, we are successful. Now our next phase will be IERP. We would like to make it an intelligent ERP.
Okay.
So we will be slowly transforming into that level. And to transform to that level, what all we need to do? Our ERP should be scalable. That is, we should be able to meet the growing requirement, which is rapidly growing at an enormous pace. All those things and the new objects which are going to come, all those things we should be able to handle. That is scalable. One more area is automation. There are a lot of activities which are repetitive and mundane. Those are the areas which you would like to automate. Through
without human intervention.
Without human intervention or very little
negligible
human intervention. With RPAs, bots, and maybe APIs. With all those things, we would like to automate these activities.
Okay.
Then we want to bring in artificial intelligence into our working. Okay. Artificial intelligence brings in a lot of advantages. Maybe the text or like a PO text which is there, it can read hundreds of pages and interpret what is required. What are the payment terms, what is the deductions to be done, penalties, all those things. We want artificial intelligence to do all these activities for us. One more area where you are looking at the user interface. Okay. Now, user interface, I will not say it is sluggish, but we can make it even better. Okay. There are some Fury apps which you are working on, which is device agnostic. You can work in any device, including your wristwatch. Okay. From a wristwatch itself, you can give signals or clearing credit holds or releasing some other activities. We are planning for that. It will come very shortly. Like usability is there. And another area is SAP. We want to make it lean and modular. But most of the modules will be kept outside. The main SAP will be lean. Okay. And the last thing what I feel is integration. We want to integrate SAP with all the modern technologies, like edge computing, cloud computing. With that, we can take advantage of the newer technologies. SAP is there, newer technologies, which can give a better user experience.
Okay.
Superior user experience that we call it. So those things, we are expecting those things will come shortly.
So the future is tech driven.
Yes, tech driven, and it will be enjoyable.
Enjoyable. Okay. Thank you, sir, for explaining us the next steps of ERP. We are truly, enriched by the experience that you have shared with us. Now, coming to your personal aspect, from our research, we have understood that you are a hardcore optimist, and also that you have a very good knack of storytelling and giving anecdotes. So, why not, tell something about that?
This optimism, I think, has come from my mother. She's a very optimistic person. I grown up seeing her, and storytelling. My father used to tell a lot of stories in my childhood. That's how I picked up the things, and these two were with me throughout. And in my current posting, wherein we were required to give address gatherings on various occasions, primarily at the time of rollout, where we were going ups and downs. We had frequent meetings where I was needed to address a gathering of 100 odd officers. That was the time. Along with that, whatever was a constraint, what to need to talk about, along with that, I used to insert one or two anecdotes
in
so that it makes interesting and makes meaningful.
Okay.
And that anecdote was in line with the intention with we were taking the sessions. Now, as you wanted a session, session on anecdote, I will tell something which I have not earlier narrated.
Okay.
And nowadays, cricket season is there. We in our HP also we have a cricket tournament, financing tournament going on. So I would like to take a session, anecdote about cricketing session which happened way back in 2005 and 6.
Okay.
It was a match between South Africa and Australia, and it was the fifth and deciding match.
Okay.
Prior to that, both of them won 2-2 each, and the match was tied. And this was a very crucial and critical match.
Final match.
And there was a lot of stakes. They had one team has to win for prestige or whatever you call. Always this activity was going on between Australia and South Africa. And the pitch was batting pitch, Paradise. So Australia won the toss, elected to bat, and they scored around 434 runs.
I remember that.
Mammoth score.
Yeah.
And Ponting, who was the captain at that point of scored, virtually hammered every South African bowler, and he scored around 170 plus. Others also joined the party. Katich was there, Gilchrist, the opener who was terror at that point of time, and Hasid, Katich and Gilchrist all scored 50 plus. And because of this, 434 score was set up.
Okay.
That was Mammoth. During that period, somewhere in 2005-6, T20 had not fixtured. It was played in few counties. The way we are currently seeing, T20 was not there. So this kind of hitting was not seen at all. 300 itself was considered very difficult to chase. Very difficult to chase. 350, if a first team posts 350, it was a sure sign of victory. That's how things were thought at that time. And here, Australia had posted over 400.
Okay.
During the intervening period, lunch break, commentators were speculating what could be the margin with which Australia will win, whether it is 100 or about 200.
So it was a conclusion given
by... It was
by
very clear.
Yeah.
But Gibbs, the captain of South Africa, had a different perspective. He addressed the team before the chase, and he told, I had inspected the pitch in the morning, and during inspection, I found the pitch was badly laid. Since it was badly laid, score of 450 was a possible figure which any team will hit for batting first will score. And I see Australia have scored 20 runs short. 20 runs short. So this was something which was the different way he expressed, and the team believed, okay, yes, 430 is chaseable. When 300 itself at that point was impossible, Gibbs made it possible. Okay, we can achieve 450. This is the confidence which he instilled in the team. The team started very well. Smith opened, he scored around 90 odd runs. Then we had Gibbs himself scoring 170 runs. Like that, the entire team contributed at a very rapid pace, and they crossed 438 for 9 wickets. And I think few balls were also spared. That's how they were able to achieve it. Margin of 100, everything had gone. South Africa won, and it is considered as a historical
win,
run chase at that point of time.
Still the record is holding.
Still the record is still on. What mattered is that intervening period where Gibbs had addressed the team by ensuring that they believe on themselves And 434 is not something that's unachievable. It can be achieved. There are a lot of lessons we can learn from that incident. Similarly, we have seen mankind has also had many such success. Like, for example, putting a man on the moon, sending a satellite outside the solar system itself, not our internal solar system. All these things are happening because of belief of few people who made it possible. So we can learn from this, and whenever we come out with some problems, we face a problem, there is no need to panic. We have to think and ensure this can be done by first analyze the problem, have a belief that it can be achieved, and by perseverance, definitely by perseverance and belief, anything can be achieved. In fact, our own ERP story, which was once considered impossible, or even the great top 5 and SAP team consultants, they were also apprehensive. They said, Big Bang is not possible of HPC's size. We did it because of the belief we had. And I am sure the success story of HPCL will be told as an inspiration by many people, case study in many places.
Thank you, sir, for beautifully explaining the anecdote and also linking the ERP story with it. And I'm sure it will instill a lot of confidence to all our viewers who are watching it. And thank you very much for appearing on the episode of HP Unplugged, for giving your time and your enriching us with your experience. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thanks a lot.
A heartfelt thank you to Shri G Sunder, sir, for his beautiful interview and sharing with us his heartful experience and his career throughout the 3 decades. It is very imperative that we receive constant feedback from you, and we have been receiving constant feedback from you. So please do give your feedback in the comment section below, or you can email it to prcc@hpcl.in. Your reviews and your feedback is very, very important for us to get this interview forward and to take HP Unplugged to the next level. Till then, thank you. Namaskar.